It's kind of crazy to think that the spring sports season is already here, but we're real excited. We have 11 sports that are going to be competing this spring with the addition of a brand new girls golf team. In the past, we've had the girls used to play with the boys team, but this year they're going to be their own separate team, and we're real excited about that. My name's Ernie Goodwin, if I haven't met you yet. I'm the Director of Athletics here at Amity for both the high school and the middle schools. And we have a couple of people that, if you ever call the athletics office, our assistant, Lori Bonney. Lori, if you could just give a little wave. Lori, there she is. All right, and she'll answer just about every question that you could have. And our athletic trainer will be coming up in a couple of minutes, Kim Pierce. Who's right there? There's Kim. All right. So I'd like to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules. You know, having 2 children of my own, I know how busy you get, and you know, possibly coming to something like this, you know, could say, why do I have to come to it? It's very important, and it really does kick off our season. Hopefully, we're going to answer a lot of the questions that you may have and get everybody on the same page so that we can start the ground running on March 19th. Before we get into some of our other policies that we're doing, I'm going to call up Beth Young. Beth is our Booster Club president, and if you were unaware before, you'll probably talk with your parents' organization. Most sports will have like a parents' organization, but we have at Amity a general booster club, and they do a lot of things, and Beth will talk about it. So without further ado, here's Beth Young.
Okay, well, welcome everyone to Spring Sports. I think this is the first time we've been at a Spring Sports Information Night without snow still on the ground, so that's a good sign for you guys. Why do you want to join the Booster Club? I know a lot of your individual teams do a lot of individual fundraising for your banquets and for your senior days and all of that. The thing about the Booster Club is that we're here for all of Amity's athletes. We try to do capital projects that benefit everybody. If we haven't bought something for your child's team in recent years, we bought it 3, 4, 5 years ago, and your child is still benefiting from it. Last year, we raised some money and we purchased a new set of chairs, padded chairs for all of the teams that use the gym. So we're doing like big projects like that benefit multiple teams. We also use some of our membership fundraising for scholarships for graduating seniors. If your child is on a team that is fortunate enough to win a league or state championship, which our spring sports tend to do pretty well, they also get a championship t-shirt as a member. Members also get a sports yearbook. Spring sports especially kind of get a little bit of a shaft in the school yearbook because they have earlier deadlines, so we get much more candidates in our sports yearbook. So for $25 for a family, regardless of how many kids you have or how many sports they play, you're definitely going to get a sports yearbook. You will get a t-shirt if your child happens to be on a winning team. If they happen to be on a winning team fall, winter, spring, they get 3 t-shirts. And as I said, the rest of the money goes to support athletic programs that are outside of the realm of the regular budget. So it really does leave a lasting legacy. We've purchased scoreboards and track timing systems and windscreens for the tennis courts and golf equipment over the years. So we've purchased something over the years that have benefited the team that your kid is playing on. So instead of just focusing on your team, this focuses on the whole athletic department. So we really would love your support. We have membership forms outside. We're also selling umbrellas. I'm hoping it's not a rainy spring, but you know you're going to be standing out there in the rain a couple of times. So the umbrellas are out there as well. And if you have any questions about membership, feel free to stop by and say hello. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Beth. Next, I'd like to call up Kim Pierce, our athletic trainer. She's going to go over some of the policies and protocols that we have in our athletic training.
Hi everyone, I'm Kim. It's my first year here. I just graduated from Springfield College. I'm super excited to be here. I had a really good fall and a good winter, and I'm excited for the spring. I have to go over a couple things with you. I guess we'll start with concussions. What is a concussion? A concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury caused by a bump, blow, or jolt to the body that causes the head and brain to move rapidly back and forth. So even like a ding or getting your bell rung can be like a serious problem. And if you ever have any like questions about it, I would just rather you come see me than just try to push through it or like convince yourself you don't have one. It's really easy to do that. I'd rather you just come talk to me about it. Some signs and symptoms of them are confusion, headache, nausea, blurred vision. It's all on the handouts, so if you would like to read those further. It's impossible to accurately predict how long an individual's concussion will last. Some last a week, some last a month, some last several months. So never like set yourself and I have to get better in this amount of time. That's one of the most important things. But when you do have one, you have to go to the doctor. They have to officially diagnose you with one. When all of your symptoms subside, then you have to go back and get officially diagnosed. And then once you're officially cleared, we're going to spend 6 days together, slowly returning you to play and full activity. So, and then the other thing I have to talk about is sudden cardiac arrest. It's when the heart suddenly stops and stops pumping blood due to rhythm abnormality. It's in a student, it's likely to result from an inherited condition, extreme overheating, dehydration, or from trauma to the chest. So this is especially important for softball, baseball, and lacrosse. It's actually the leading cause of death for student athletes, so it's really important. It's a medical emergency, and if not treated, can be fatal. Although it happens unexpectedly, some people do experience some signs and symptoms, and this includes fainting, seizures during exercise, unexplained shortness of breath, dizziness, extreme fatigue, chest pains, or racing heart, which obviously in any athlete this could be confused with physical exhaustion. But if you're ever feeling those symptoms in particular, it's always good to just stop, just come see me, we can talk about it, and if it's nothing, then return you to play, but if I feel like it needs to be further examined, you would need to get a doctor's note to return to play. Speaking of doctor's notes, the last 2 seasons, my biggest problem were getting doctor's notes from kids. If you go see a doctor for any reason whatsoever, I just need a note saying that you're okay to actually return to play. Otherwise, I can't let you practice or play in any game situation. I hate to do that, but I need the written documentation. And pretty much like, I don't think I'm that scary of a person. If you ever have any problems with anything, just come see me. I'm not trying to take you out of your sport. I'm just trying to just protect you guys from yourselves and be your best advocate when you're talking to your coach. So, and that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Kim. And for the most part, Kim, her office is, if you were to go out to the gym on this exit and take a right, her office is right there on the right. You can also call and leave messages if you need to. And most of the time, she'll be out on her, we have a golf cart that she can get around the campus pretty quickly. So if you are needing her during the afternoon, especially athletes, you can usually find the cart and she'll be right there. Next thing, we haven't said hello to our coaches yet, but our coaches have assembled right over here in the corner, so if our coaches could give a wave or a stand, see, there they are. Our coaches, who do an amazing job. Yeah, you can give them applause. already been working for months preparing for this season. And so whether it's, practice plans, conditioning plans, strategies, whatever, they've been preparing for the season for months now, and we're ready to go. So let's talk about first how you're going to get to play a sport. And to play a sport at the high school, you need to register, just like at the middle school if you play at the middle school. Except we are now hitting the frontier of technology, and we are going online for our registration. All right, so we've employed a company called Form Relief that's handling our online registration this spring. So it'll look a little bit the same, but a little bit different. Number one, obviously, you're not going to have to handwrite anything. And actually, you're going to, when you go to sign, where you normally sign in pen, you're actually going to sign with either your mouse or your finger the boxes. And athletes and the parents will sign and then submit. So this will go online tomorrow. So if you go to the district webpage and click Athletics, you'll find a tab that says High School Athlete Online Registration. You're going to click that, and it's going to give you a set of instructions that are up on the screen right now. And I'm sorry to the people who are behind it. This is great that we have too many people, which is a good thing. So it'll look just like it is on the screen. And please take the time. I know one of the big things, and I get kind of, sometimes it happens to me as well, is you tend to just scroll instead of reading. But it is important that you take the time to try to read and get it right the first time. Because editing, once you submit your online registration, is a little more difficult. So if we get it right the first time, we'll have less glitches and we'll all be happier. So you'll see up on the screen here, I'll take the microphone. On the screen it says athletic registration. The first thing is your physical. You have to have a physical that lasts throughout the season. And the cutoff date is May 17th of 2015. So as long as you had a physical after that, you are all set. If you do need a physical, we've attached a hyperlink right there, and you can either do a full physical, which would last you for the whole 13 months, and you can also do a sports physical, which will suffice for the athletic season, but really, it's not meant to be in place of going to your primary care physician. But it will be legal for competition in the high school. If you as an athlete or parent, if your son or daughter has a medical condition that has medication, it could be asthma, it could be an EpiPen, it could be an EpiPen, it could be insulin for diabetic, whatever it is. If you have any kind of medication, there has to be a medication authorization form completed each year and on file with the school nurse. So if you have an asthma inhaler and your son or daughter is a self-carry, which means they carry it themselves, you still need to have the doctor tell the school that it's okay that you carry it and you administer it. If the coach needs to carry the medication for you, they also need to fill out that. It's not me. You also need to fill out, have the doctor fill out and hand it to the school nurse. So the instructions are on there for that, but that's a major one. Then you'll see that there's instructions for the online registration. Okay, there are 7 steps to doing your online registration. If you click the link below, you can obviously just figure it out yourself and do your best. But if you read the instructions, you first have to register on the site. So you'll see when you click the link, it'll take you to the website formally. You'll scroll to the bottom. It says sign up. You're going to input your sign up. If you if you, I think it's smart to record your email address and the password that you use for that, because we're going to continue to use this website. So next fall, you can just log right in. You can, and then they'll have the auto-fill feature. You can auto-fill the form the next time, and it'll be a lot quicker. So the first time's a little bit longer. And then you're going to click the sport. You're going to put all the information in, and there's little stars if you know that are required. If you don't put one of the requirements, if you try to submit, it won't let you submit. Once you fill everything out properly and you hit submit, it's going to say your registration is complete. But that's a little misleading, because your registration for trying out is only 100% complete when the nurse, so the nurses will get an email when you register. They'll click on that, on your registration, and they'll check your physical and your medical authorization. If those are both on file and they're good, they're going to approve it. So there'll be a second button you'll see on your registration. When you go to your home page, it'll say completed, and then it will also say approved. And when those two things are done, then you're on the list for tryouts. Your coach will receive a list from me. I'll download and email them a list of all the eligible athletes that may try out. If you are not on that list, it is not your coach's fault. So please don't yell at your coach. It's only because there was some kind of glitch. Either the medical form wasn't filled out, or physical, or there was some issue. So you know, we can definitely work that out, and you'll be all set. Unfortunately, right now the system can't email you back when the final approval is done. So we're going to kind of rely on you trying to, you know, please go back and double check before tryouts start to make sure that you do see that approved button on your registration, and then you'll be all set. Okay? So that's our online registration process, and you'll see that hopefully it'll be pretty easy for you. It's a little more time consuming this time, but in the future it'll be less the next time you go with that auto-fill thing. Tryout information. Also on our athletics site, there'll also be a spring tryout information, and you'll get it all tonight when we have our breakout session with all our individual coaches. They'll be handing you out practice schedules and everything like that. It is a little crazy this year because we start on a Saturday this year. They changed, the CIAC changed the regulations. We have a rule that you have to have so many practices in order to compete. And so for some of our sports, you're gonna be starting on Saturday, and then you'll have you know, practices and scrimmages all the way up until the first competition. Tryouts, the information for tryouts, your coach will give you that tonight, and all that information will be through your coach. Schedules. On our website, again, everything that you need to know is on our website, on our athletics page. You can download your schedule, your sports schedule, to your phone. There's a link there to the CIAC site that will allow you, no matter whether you use Outlook, Google, or any other service, calendar for the most part, and you can have it uploaded to your phone. Now on my phone, when I change something, it actually changes on my calendar automatically. I don't even have to adjust it. So hopefully that works for you as well. So I heavily suggest doing that. The Remind app. You don't need the app, but you need to sign up. Again, on our athletics page, there's a section where you can sign up for the Remind, and you will get all cancellations. When either I or Lori, Miss Bonnie, puts them in, we will also send out a Remind. We use that for only cancellations. So if you don't get a Remind and it's raining out, that means we're going to tough it out and we're going. If you get a Remind, that's when you know there's going to be a cancellation. So we try to use that remind only for that, so that when you do get a remind, you'll know what it is. So I don't use that for general announcements or anything like that. Policies. It's real important when you look on the online registration. It's very simple to scroll to the bottom after you put in the information and then just sign, yeah, I read and understood everything. You need to hit each plus sign and it will drop down all the information for all our policies and the link to our handbook. I would say that 80% of the questions that I get calls on actually are answered in the athletic handbook. All right, maybe it's my hand. Sorry about that. So if you do take the time to read it, it will answer all your questions, and almost all your questions are answered in those policies and everything like that. So please, take the time to read our handbook, and because you sign off that you have read it, and athletes as well. We went over athletic trainer information. The next and the last thing, pretty much, that I have is our athlete, parent, coach communication, which is really, really big. And I have two children, so I've lived through this, and I understand how emotions can get involved and how things can be easily get you frustrated or questions. Now that we're all, your athletes are all in high school, we're trying to actually switch. Now, when you go through, if you played youth sports, there was a direct line of communication, coach to parent. And for good reason, because, of the age group and everything like that. But now, we're actually going to go coach, athlete, parent. So we try to and we're trying to teach the big skill of advocacy. And we're trying to get, our athletes to learn how to advocate for themselves. If they say they don't get playing time like they think they should, it'd be great for them to go to the coach and ask and have a conversation and say, hey, can we talk after practice, and you can get your questions answered. So that's going to be step number one, and that's a big step. So it is sometimes intimidating to go to a coach. You're not used to going to a coach maybe, but it's important lesson to learn, and it's important for our coaches and our athletes to have a really good relationship like that. So if you ever have questions about whether it be playing time or anything, please talk to your athlete about going and asking the coach first. That's step number one in our chain of command. Step number two would be to have the athlete and the parent and the coach meet. And then step number three would be athlete, parent, coach, athletic director. So that's our chain of command. And I know that it's, especially right after a game, you can be very upset, frustrated, mad, and it's very tempting to go right across the field or the court and talk to the coach right then. But take my word that usually 24 hours later, you feel a little differently. And if you don't, then that'll be the time that you say, hey, please talk to your coach, and this is the reason why. Because 24 hours, a lot of times, gives us that break. It also allows our coaches to relax after the game. Being bombarded right after a game, if you've ever coached, you can vouch for coaches really not being prepared, and it's really not the right time to be talking to a coach right after a game. So we're going to ask, if you do have questions and you don't think that your athlete is able to advocate for themselves, at least wait that 24 hours before contacting a coach. And almost never is, you know, playing time one of those things that, you know, we have big discussions with, because, you know, our coaches do, trust me, take a lot of time to think about things. They really do take a lot into consideration, and they really care greatly about every kid on our team, and so you know, I want you to know that they do take the time to make sure that you know, what they're doing is in the best interest of all the team. So I think that's going to wrap up my part. And before you get up or anything like that, I just want to, you know, say that what a privilege it is to work for the District of Amity. And again, we are here to help you and to make your experience the best it can be. We've had a lot of success in the past, and it's because of you, it's because of the athletes, it's because of the coaches. And all of us working together makes us great. And so I want to make sure that we keep that in perspective. Okay, before I dismiss everybody, if you could please make sure I get through all this before you get up or talk. So we're going to break out now, and you'll get the rest of the information from the coaches.